So Paul Pierce got very upset at LeBron James. And he got very upset at LeBron James for a comment that LeBron James made on his podcast, Mind the Game, when he was on it with Steve Nash, and he had a guest on who was Kevin Durant. So LeBron James was talking about Kevin Durant, and Steve Nash started praising Kevin Durant and stuff like that. And LeBron James made a comment stating that Kevin Durant is the best equipped player in the NBA history. And, you know, since it's high praise coming from LeBron James to Kevin Durant, and it's a very complimenting comment for Kevin Durant was very appreciative, and he said, I appreciate it, and he thanked LeBron for making the comment and all that. Now, Paul Pierce, after hearing that comment, got very, very upset, to the point that he had to make his case for being as good as Kevin Durant and as well equipped as Kevin Durant, because he felt slighted by LeBron James' comments. So what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you the comments from LeBron James, or you can hear them. Then I'm going to let you hear Paul Pierce responding to those comments, and he had to go on ESPN to do that. He was so upset. And then I'm going to share my opinion on it, because it's an interesting subject, but it needs to be talked about a little bit. So let me show you LeBron James' comments, and then we'll go to Pierce, and then I'll state my opinion. Hold on one second.
You know, LeBron is the greatest, the leading scorer of all time in NBA history. But sure. I think even you would admit there's things about Kevin's game you wish you had.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the most smoothest, most efficient scorers we've ever had. Like, is there anyone that can do it at every level?
Not to the capacity he's done it. And I was reading a stat earlier, the fact that he hasn't, I don't want to speak like you're not here, but he was so great. I like to do it sometimes.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
He hasn't shot under 50% since like 2012. And in a league that doesn't talk about efficiency enough, because I'm one of those efficiency guys. Like I hate going out there just chucking up shots, or, you know, looking at the box score and I was maybe 8 for 23 or 9 for 25 or 6 for 18. Like, you're gonna have those nights for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but for the majority of the season, like, being efficient, you know, is something I've always prided myself on. And this guy is, when it comes to 3-level score, 3-pointers, mid-range, below the Gary Payton area, below the Malone area, and finishing. It's we haven't had a scorer as equipped as KD in our league. Ever.
Appreciate that.
Ever.
I was probably the best pure scorer ever in the history of the game, because I was pretty equipped. When I think about it, I'm just saying, like,
Could you pull up from the elbow?
I need to be in this conversation.
Could you pull up from the elbow?
I got all that.
Could you knock down the three?
All that.
Could you back him down?
Three-point contest champ.
Could you turn around?
All of that. Post ups.
Could you dunk?
All of that. I was shooting. I must have been one of the most equipped. Look, here we go. Boom. Who's this? I'm to the rack.
Okay.
3 people.
I ain't got to show a Laker highlight, but I get it.
Yeah, look. Oh, let me see. Go over your head.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty.
This is equipped. Oh, you want game winners? Wop, wop, wop. Here we go. Like, I'm trying to figure out
what was your efficiency?
Yeah, like, I think, you know, when he's talking about his efficiency, because I shot more bad shots than Kevin.
Yeah, you was just
For
hot
sure.
dogging. You wasn't as clean.
No, I shot more bad shots. But Kevin, because he's 7 feet, he can get his shot off on anybody. He don't really see defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why he's so efficient. There's nobody at his height on the perimeter. You know, he changed the way we look at perimeter. He pretty much changed the game on the perimeter. Like, being a 7'2" guard, you know what I'm saying? That's like, come on, the biggest 2 guard when I came in was like 6'5", 6'6".
Dirk was what, a 3?
Dirk was a 4, man.
Was he a 4?
Yeah, he's 7. He playing center. He a center playing at the point guard, 2 guard. You know what I'm saying? So all his matchups and the way he shoot the ball and get to the ball, he efficient with it. So I can see why LeBron would say that. But shoot, you got to put me in that talk when we talk about most equipped scorers now. Come on, Bron.
You got to put your hand right though. You ain't really.
Man.
Yeah, you got to
I
make it
mean?
right.
So I've watched basketball long enough, since 1992, I believe, like I've been saying in many of my videos. And I've watched Kevin Durant pretty much through all of his career. I've watched Paul Pierce pretty much through all of his career. Of course, I'm not a Boston Celtics fan, or I wasn't an OKC fan. I wasn't a Golden State fan, so I wasn't watching every single game of those guys, but I saw a lot of it, okay? Comparing Kevin Durant to Paul Pierce, I think Kevin Durant is a better overall player, a better shooter. Of course, just like Paul Pierce said, it does help him that he's taller and he's just shooting over defenders. So that helps him with his field goal percentage. His free throws are better, but I think Kevin Durant is overall a little bit above, a level above Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce is just not as good. But what I think Paul Pierce has over Kevin Durant, I think mentality-wise and approach-wise, I just, seeing Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics with KG and Ray Allen and all that, I think Paul Pierce is a little bit more of a dog. That's just my opinion. Of course, yours can be different, and we can go by that. Now, if I'm looking at statistics for Paul Pierce, Paul Pierce's best scoring season was in 2005, 2006, playing for the Boston Celtics. He was 28 years old at the time. He played 79 games for that season, and he had a 26.8 points per game average. He was averaging like just under 5 assists, just under 7 rebounds. He had a very good season. Now, 26.8 is the top point total that Paul Pierce ever averaged. If you look at Kevin Durant's got sick numbers, man. He averaged 26 points in so many seasons that it doesn't really matter. His best seasons were 30 points in his third season in the NBA. He had 28 points, another 28 points. But then in 2013, 2014 was his best scoring season. And his best scoring season, he was averaging 32 points a game, which was insane. He was 39% from three for that season, 50% from the field. I mean, just insane, insanely effective. No question. So just looking at that and the MVP votings, and he wasn't the MVP every season, but he was second MVP voting 09-10, fifth MVP voting in 2010-11, and then another MVP voting. He was in those votes consistently pretty much from 2009 to 2010. 2010 to pretty much 2021, 2022. So pretty much for 10 years, every single season, he was considered for an MVP. Okay, if you look at Paul Pierce, he had 5 seasons in his career like that. So I just think Kevin Durant is just a level above Paul Pierce. I understand Pierce's competitiveness and why he got upset, but I don't see Paul Pierce as being as well equipped and effective of a player, but mentally, I think he was more of a dog. What do you guys think? Now, share your opinions. What do you think on both players? And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.